So I want to do just a kind of a farm update, what we got going on here, kind of how things are going. And I know it's been a while since I've been putting out some videos, just been busy. So I want to start off with the pigs here, our 2 Berkshires that are destined for the freezer. They're doing real well. Almost got their enclosure in the grove finished up. I got to buy a little bit more fencing. We got it done. And the wife and I looked at it and go, you know what, 3 wires a hot isn't enough. Don't feel it's enough. So I'm going to get 2 more wires. So I got a total of 5 wires in there, but I ran out of supplies. So I got to go get more insulators. Anyway, so almost done. They really haven't been trying to bust out of here at all, which is kind of shocking to me. I figured I'd be having a very difficult time keeping them in, but they've been doing real well. So very happy with that. They're growing big. The male is growing much bigger and faster than the female, which is somewhat to be expected, but for lack of a better term, he's kind of hogging the food. Pig joke. So it's working well, and I'll show you kind of a briefly of what we got going on for their fencing and how I take care of them. So feeding them is very, very simple. They eat like pigs. Pig joke. And so just simple cement feeder bowls on the ground there. They're stepping in them a lot. There's a feeder that I'm going to be getting. It's sitting in junk pile right now over at my uncle's old place. So I'm going to be getting that. We just, you'll see it in another video, but we just cut, it's a mixture of oats and field peas. And so I gave them a wheelbarrow load. And so they're enjoying that very much so. Watering is very simple here. We just have a 55-gallon barrel. I've outfitted with a pig water nipple. Run the hose over here when it gets down lower every few days, and it works well. Along the driveway, we're doing a field fence just because my kids running up and down the driveway constantly don't want a hot wire here. So we'll be doing field fence all along the driveway. Now it's hard to tell scale on a camera, I know. But that whole grove there, which is about an acre and a quarter total-ish, somewhere around there, they're going to get about half of it. In the inside of the grove, we're going to have the hot wire on an electric fence charger, and it's just cheaper, faster, easier to put up, and trees will fall on it. It's a lot easier to repair, just a hot wire fence than it is field fencing or whatever. So they're going to be getting that whole thing here very, very soon, almost done with it. Alright, next we got chickens, and we have three, I guess technically 3 flocks going right now. These brown ones here, they're running around their meat production, so they're working on that. I had to let them out the other day in free range just because they were starting to peck at each other. They get the natural instinct to forage. They will go after each other. Excuse the mess, I just got done revamping the camper, and the dumpster just got in here last night, so I got to get that thrown in the dumpster now. So we got roughly-ish 80 some meat chickens, which sounds like a lot, but it's not. And I don't know if you can see it, but we also got layers running around. We got right now approximately 10 laying hens, and we just got ordered in and got them this morning. 25 more. 20. So we've also got laying hens. I don't know if you can see them, but they're going to be a couple different other varieties. One of our own hybrid, which is a cross of a Freedom Ranger rooster and a Barred Rock hen. Didn't work out so well, but they lay eggs mostly. Then we also got just your regular Barred Rocks. Got about 10 layers in all. Just picked up this morning 25 new chicks for laying hens. We've got a lot of demand for eggs between the pigs and using eggs as part of their ration. We have some people that are buying eggs from us now pretty heavily. I supply some of my family with eggs. My mother, my brother, my sister, they all get eggs from us, and then our own use. So we're going to have about 35 laying hens that are laying come fall, if I don't lose too many more. So we're going with that. That's going. And let's move on to what else we're doing right now. Alright, of course we got the cow, well, heifers technically. They're still growing up. This one here, our Dexter, she's full grown now. It's all the bigger she's going to get. And we're going to be getting off to get bred here in August, I think we figured. So she has another April calf next year. And then we'll start dairy next year. You've seen Abigail just in the background. She is, I want to say around 9 months old, 8-9 months old. She's a Jersey, full-bred Jersey. So she's getting bigger, and I don't know what we're going to do with her yet. If we're going to get her in dairy production, couldn't honestly tell you. I imagine we probably will get her trained in as a homesteading cow. We might sell her at that point. We might keep her. I don't know yet. But she's here, and she's doing good. All right, so right behind me we have the chicken coop, which didn't technically ever get finished. I didn't do the siding on the north side, and now I'm almost kind of done with it as a chicken coop already. Things happen. So I designed that coop for 8 birds, maybe 10 at the most, but more like 6, 8 birds, and 10 is pushing it. And now I got 25 more coming. It ain't big enough. It's just not. So we got to build chicken coop 2.0. I'm redesigning it totally bigger. I'm probably going to abandon the walk-in chicken coop. Too much money to make a building that big, but I'm not quite sure yet how I'm going to do it. I'm reading an interesting book, and I'll throw it up on the screen here, about open-air chicken coops, and even supposed to be in the dead of winter. They're wide open. So I might take some of those ideas and bring it into my own. They're more big walk-in buildings, and I might do something that's more chicken size with opening sides that are hinges, so I can clean out that way. But anyway, I'm not quite sure yet. I got to figure that up and get that all designed here in the next couple days. So hopefully this weekend I can start building a chicken coop, which I'm thinking is probably going to go in here again. I'm going to be turning what's currently the chicken coop into a fodder growing shed. It's already insulated. I'm going to clean it up a little bit, obviously, and probably tear out the insulation, put in new, just, excuse me, to refresh it. And that'll be for growing fodder, because I want to convert our meat chickens and part of our laying hens diet, and then also part of the diet for our pigs. I want to turn that into, it looks like there's a bug on the lens, sorry. I want to turn that into fodder growing, so it's still going to be used. I'm just going to move it somewhere else on the property that's closer to electric. And let's keep moving on. I can't grow strawberries to save my soul. They're doing all right, but the strawberries they produce, and I had it weeded earlier, but they're growing. The weeds are growing faster than anything else around here right now. They're just tiny, tiny strawberries. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, if I got the soil wrong for it, but I thought this one was going to do it. I dug out all the soil. I put on a few inches of composted cow manure, put in really rich soil from the grove. Plants look really big and healthy, but the strawberries are still small, and then the chickens kind of found them. So, yeah. I don't know, I'll clean it up and fence it off and see what happens next year. I just planted them last year, so this is first year getting on them. I don't know, maybe I'm just not good at strawberries. Alright, so this is a long garden, what we call our long garden. It's pretty long. I don't know how long it is. It's, I don't know, good 80 yards. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so right now I've got it planted in just a cover crop. It's a field pea, not a sweet pea, but a field pea and oat mix. And the oat is just starting to put out basically the seed. Oat growth's starting to form. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it quite yet, but don't really have time much this year to be doing too much with the gardens. I got a lot of things to do with the new chicken coop. I'm working on the pigs and kind of getting all the protein production infrastructure up and going this year. I still got to build something for dairy. I don't even know what I'm doing yet. So most of the gardens are just going to be this right now. It's easy to manage. It's helping keeping the weeds significantly down, and just overall kind of mostly takes care of itself. Darn mosquitoes are so bad. Getting on evening. So most of the gardens are this year. It's lightening up my workload to work on protein infrastructure, which is really where we save the money, where the calories really come from, and what our primary diet is. And I'm looking at converting a lot of the garden area over to feed for the animals, because again, we're heavy protein eaters. That's what we're eating, so it makes more sense. I can buy a year's worth of green beans and peas for 30 bucks. I don't know, it's harder to find organic feeds and more expensive for the animals, so it's what we're working on here. Believe it or not, the root cellar is in there. I got to get the weed whip out and find it. Yeah, things have gotten away from me this year. But anyway, this is one of my more neglected patches of raspberries, but starting to actually produce a bit. I don't really keep up with this one at all, but we've gotten a couple crops already, and they taste good. Here's the next garden, again just in fodder crop or cover crop or whatever it turns out to be. And the deer and probably my 3-year-old are having fun knocking everything down. You can see there and there and there, but that's all right. This is what we call our little garden. It's still probably 20 by 35-ish, but anyway, so this I got knocked down. This had the same oat and pea mixture in it. We just got done cutting it down today, feeding it to the pigs and the cows. And so this is going to get potatoes, pumpkin. My son is trying to do a big pumpkin, which he's got growing in a pot right now. Just kind of the little things. I got to do potatoes regardless because I have my own, well, it's not my own variety, but my own, and the cat knocked on the tripod. But my own potatoes I've been growing year after year, and they're starting to really adapt to our soil and whatnot. So got to keep that going. I don't want to break the cycle. And so that's all going to go here. This is really going to be the only gardening I do this year. Okay, this is what we kind of sort of call berry hill. We had strawberries that grow in here, raspberries grow here. I'm trying to get blackberries going. We've got grapevines that I'm trying to get going, blueberries that I'm trying to get going. It's sort of gotten away from me, but nothing grows here, and it's aggravating. I've tried amending the soil, I've had testing done, and the cats are still all over the tripod, and just stuff doesn't want to grow. So I don't know. Raspberries are starting to do okay that I transplanted in last year, but nothing grows well here. So I don't know why, I haven't figured it out yet, but this might get totally redone. It's getting away from me anyway, and the trees are starting to grow up again. I already cut them down once. So another project. And here we have the garden this year, pretty much. My wife is growing a couple tomatoes, I think one cherry and one, I don't know, beefsteak, I don't know what she planted. And then my son is working on his pumpkin, which really needs to get put in the soil. And that's pretty much it. We're going to get her a few more pots, a few more containers. And she just wants a few green bean plants for fresh eating, a couple summer treats like that. But otherwise, really taking it easy on that sort of stuff this year. And again, work on infrastructure for next year for protein and dairy. So that's what's going on so far this year. It's been a slow start. Kind of hurt my left arm. Tore, ripped, or damaged a tendon or something in the elbow, basically tennis elbow. Kind of did something stupid. That's another story. But so that's what's going on this year. Well, not this year, but so far this year. Again, we're going to be doing the bigger chicken coop, getting that going, finishing up the pig fencing, and got to work on a place to do dairy. A lot of construction to do yet this year to get it all up and going, so hopefully next year we can hit our goal and see exactly how self-sufficient we can be on 5 acres. So I want to feel that we're on our way with everything life's throwing at us so far this year. I think we're handling it well. This beast here, as soon as I get it up and running, is going to be instrumental in getting a lot of this stuff done, because I'm kind of laid up a little bit. And then my son will be helping me out a lot. He gets to learn a lot of construction this year. See you later. Thanks for watching. Why are you getting peed on?